It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. This is your feel-good breakfast show, Expresso Mo SABC3. Now, of course, the provincial and the municipal elections have come and gone, but still a very hot topic on a lot of people's lips out there. If you take a look at social media, the trending hashtags are all about politicians, celebrities giving their own 2 cents worth. But we want to find out exactly how successful these were, and that's why we've invited back IEC Provincial Electoral Officer of the Western Cape, Mr. Courtney Sampson. This morning, thank you very much for joining us.
Good morning, Katlego.
How are the stress levels? Did you actually get some sleep over the weekend after all of the counting, making sure that we had a free and fair election?
You kind of fit the sleep in between, hour here and a half an hour there. Yeah, we did manage to sleep, and so also focus on the many staff members who are out there. I think that is one of the most beautiful things for us.
Absolutely, yeah, we want to say thank you
as
for
South Africans, because people worked very hard in the voting stations.
Yeah.
Doing their thing.
Let's talk about the numbers. How did the voter turn out? Exactly, how did they turn out? Did they turn up in the numbers? I know registration-wise, we had record-breaking numbers.
We did. I mean, we had just short of 2 million people voting in the Western Cape. So, I mean, that for us is something which is quite exciting. That also, however, means that 1 million people didn't vote.
Okay.
So I think that's the other side of it, of course. But on the whole, I think it went well. No election is ever perfect.
Yeah.
And there are little things that get scratchy and so on. There might be quite a number of people who would be disappointed by the way in which it went for them personally. But I think it appears from general perception that most of the people were satisfied with how the process ran.
And I understand some voting stations also encountered some troubles where, because of weather, weather conditions, people had to go even later to the polling stations to go and vote. But their votes did count. How did the IEC handle these kind of challenges?
Not in the Western Cape really, but I know my colleagues in the Eastern Cape and KZN had that kind of challenge.
Yes.
But there's nothing you can do against storm winds, you know. You can just sit it out and do what you need to do.
Yeah. Now, media and political analysts are saying that the results are indicating a huge change in mindset in terms of the South African electorate and who they vote and who they vote for and who they want into power. Would you agree with this?
Well, I think it seems like it, you know, in terms of where we are. But our focus in the IEC is really not in terms of those kinds of things. It's important for us to know it. But our focus is on how well we are able to manage the electoral process.
Yes.
And how closely we can stick to ensuring that the legislative requirements of the election are met. So I think for us, that's the real focus. And but I think there's lots to be said about how things have gone.
Yeah, I understand your very objective point of view, as you must take. Moving forward, looking at elections in the future, how are we planning on pushing that kind of thinking process of impressing upon people how important their vote is, and ultimately, you know, ideally having the whole South Africa there on voting day and voting? How are you planning on doing that as the IEC?
Look, I think we will obviously intensify our outreach programs, and we will engage with communities more. We started that this time around here in the Western Cape, where we had a panel of experts in conflict management. They were intensely involved in the lives of communities, speaking to leaders in communities, not just leaders of political parties. So that was a shift that took place, and I think it made quite a contribution to ensure that we had the reasonable, relative, peaceful environment in which people could vote.
Absolutely. Well, Mr. Sampson, thank you so much, and I hope that you are going to enjoy a couple more days of good rest after the run of the elections. And indeed, to all South Africans out there who went out to vote, thank you for making your voice heard. To those who haven't, let this be an example of what exactly can happen when the electorate does make their voices heard and want to see change, or they want to vote for the parties that they want to support. So next time when elections come around again, do register and make sure that you make your mark next to those that you want to support. But right now, it's time for us to share a very inspirational Monday morning quote.